Right, hello everyone. So I'm in one of my favourite spots in the forest, and you can tell it's the holidays because there's loads of people about, so I'm trying to get away from them just for a little bit of peace and quiet. So usually I only make these videos, I've got a few things to say, pretty much said a lot now about how I strive to stay in a higher vibration, about how it's all about vibration and frequency. And what I mean by that, it's all about emotional state. It's all about, to me, vibration and frequency is like emotional state. It's your mood, it's how you feel most of the time. And of course many have been feeling pretty shit most of the time, with the narrative pushed and the fear mongering that goes on. A little squirrel running up a tree there. So I always look for times in my day where I can stay away from that, stay more in that higher vibrational state, that higher homeostasis, feed and breed state. And the majority of the time I am, the majority of the time I'm optimistic, feeling good. But it does catch you. After all, we're human. And you shouldn't suppress it. And sometimes I'll beat myself up for it, So I'll do all the things that make me feel higher vibration. I meditate, I come to the forest, I go to the beach, I train outside, I get fresh air, I do breath work. I surround myself with people and stimuli that is more conducive to a more positive outcome. And I know in my heart of hearts that things will prevail, we will get through this, even though it's probably going to get fucking worse before it gets better, but I know it will get better. And I know not everyone's going to fucking make it. And I know those of us that are awakened to what's really going on are finding the same thing with breakdown in family, and friends and work colleagues, and you're being alienated if you think a certain way, because the majority of the masses don't think the way that people think, that are more alert and awake to what's going on in terms of the narrative and what's being forced upon us. And it takes such adversity for those said people, me included, to find your more spiritual side, if you like. It took this whole thing happening 18 months plus ago for me to find my spiritual awakening, which I initially found through waking up to the bullshit, like I said. And that took me on a path where through research, I realised just how fucking dark humanity is, or can be. And then, like I said, they front without back, I saw the light. I saw that there must be a gentler, softer side to this, if you like. It can't all be about the dark side of humanity. There's a light side of humanity, of course there is. Now, like I said, I've never been religious, but I am spiritual. I am a spiritual soul, and my study of the esoteric has took me all sorts of places. And what I actually believe is that God to me is source consciousness, and consciousness is the expression of life having an experience through form, be it human, be it an animal, be it an insect, be it a tree, be it a plant, be it whatever it is that is alive is having an experience of consciousness, and the same consciousness that is driving that experience through whatever that form is, to me, is source. We are all connected to that. We are all one. But you've got to be careful because, like I said before, the inorganic ones, if you like, have inverted fucking everything, absolutely everything. So even so-called New Age spirituality, I mean, they do all the same things, say all the same things, take walks with bare feet, meditate, forest bathe and all that. But the actual message that they give is don't resist anything, go with the flow. Everything is as it's supposed to be, and like I said before, it's a fucking wolf in sheep's clothing, if ever I've seen one. So a lot of the spiritual New Age stuff that you see is fucking babble. But if you look and you research, and you'll see the commonality in the thread. There's beauty to our earth, to Mother Nature, to Gaia. There's beauty to humanity. You know, life and consciousness is whole soul objective is based in love, and all consciousness wants is for each and every living thing to have an experience. You know, like I said before, it's non-biased whether that experience is of a high or a low vibration, and it's often dictated by your thoughts and your feelings. You know, feelings that we are given are our gift from our Creator to gauge, you know, whether something is right for us or not. Our feelings are our gauge to our thoughts, and if we are feeling, you know, down or in a low ebb state, low vibration, low frequency, then we should look at what we're thinking, look at what our thoughts are. Now, consciously, we're not always aware of what we're thinking, like I said before. You know, subconsciously, you're running programs that are constantly keeping you in this fight or flight state, and that's what this fucking narrative is all about. But the majority of the messages I've been giving you is, you know, through various things, try and or strive to stay in a higher vibration. Now, to me, a higher vibration is simply a gauge of your emotional state, what your current mood is. And of course, we'd all rather be in a happier, higher vibrational emotional state than a doom and gloom, low ebb frequency one, if you like. But quite often we find ourselves without having too much control over it. So what I found last couple of days, particularly yesterday and today, is that I've been feeling fucking fed up, fucking angry, if you like, a little bit angry and depressed, down, and I'm trying to shake it, and I've been trying to shake it, you know, and I've been like, well, why the fuck am I feeling that? And I was almost beating myself up for it. And then I realised, you know, I'm a fair believer in serendipity, so I listen to certain people, and there's some great people out there. And I believe that what you need comes to you when you need it. And earlier I listened to someone, and they were talking about pretty much the same thing, you know, that we're human, having a human experience. And sometimes we'll feel shit. And sometimes we'll spit the dummy, we'll get angry, we'll react in a way that, you know, is probably less than productive. But we shouldn't suppress that. We should, you know, release it, embrace it and release it, let it go, let it flow through us, but let it show itself. And I guess I was trying to suppress my somewhat shit day. Everyone gets shit days, right? Majority of the time I'm, you know, in a more productive emotional state. I'm more, you know, I'm an optimist, less of a pessimist in most cases. And I do believe that things will, you know, get better in the future. I do believe things are going to get worse before they get better, but I do believe things will get better. I do believe we will prevail. And I do believe this is all about frequency and vibration, and it's all about keeping yourself in that more productive emotional state. But it's not always feasible. It's not always possible. So when you get days when you feel shit or you spit the dummy, I guess this message is don't fucking beat yourself up about it like I probably was today. Because we're human and it's natural. We have a full spectrum of human experiences. Consciousness shows itself or reveals itself through a full spectrum of different feelings and emotions, and they can't always be happy jumping through hoops. I mean, it would just be very fake and false if we were, because most of the time we'd be pretending. When you actually feel of a higher vibration, optimistic and happy, it's usually because you're doing something you love. So maybe you're playing with your kids, maybe you're with people that you care about, maybe you're laughing, maybe you're out in nature, maybe you're kissing or cuddling your dog, maybe it's one of that you're just doing something you enjoy and something you love, and that's the vibration we're talking about, that place that makes you feel good. And sometimes, just sometimes, you know, fucking often with, you know, recent times, that's not always possible. Now, last night was, you know, a new moon, and to be honest, in latter years I've noticed that my temperament is often quite swayed by the full moon. So I was kind of putting it down to that, you know. It was a full moon energy, and I went out and I watched the moon and I looked at the stars and, you know, I embraced the moment, because it's, you know, it's wonderful, it's amazing. You know, you've got to ask yourself, how many more full moons will you see in your life? You know, was last night my last one? Will I see another one? Will I see another 10? 2? Is that it? None of us know. So you've got to make the most of every moment that you're here in this realm. But I kind of put the change in vibrational energy and mood, if you like, probably down to the full moon last night. And of course, it's all about energy. I mean, our aura is constantly prodded and probed and bombarded by entities that are, you know, negative, trying to pull you down, and they're pushed out by, you know, the narrative, by the media, by the TV, by people that have just got to have their fear fixed to the day and tell you what the latest fucking, you know, dilemma is, show you the latest doom and gloom clip. I mean, it's all out there, but I believe, like, you know, we are in vibrational frequency, and there's probably lots of things that we can't tune into and we can't see. But if it's almost like, imagine that you've got several layers of auras around you. So you've got your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body, your etheric layer, if you like. And if you could imagine that you could see those, they'd probably be like layers around you that are glowing, and that's your auric field. And if you could see negative or nefarious type of entities, you probably see them trying to probe and push and perforate that. That to me is how I kind of visualize it. I mean, if you're honest about it, you probably all, even those of you that, you know, are finding your own spiritual way, I've probably felt days where just something is probing you. It's just like trying to get through your auric field. It's trying to break you down. It's trying to make your mood or emotional state change. It's trying to lower your frequency, if you like. I mean, I bet if you're honest, we've all felt that. And, you know, your answer to that should be, well, do the things that, you know, make you feel better. So get out in nature barefoot, you know, get out and do some breath work, you know, go and do some physical exercise, you know, do some meditation, go and have a laugh with a friend, go and listen to something uplifting, whatever it is that makes you feel out of that lower vibrational emotional state and puts you in a higher one, is what we should be doing in terms of you know, raising our own frequency, because it's all about frequency. It's all about frequency and vibration. Many have said it. It's not about the necessary going-ons, it's our response to them. And of course, you know, if you look at the narrative and what's going on, it's not one thing, it's another. So you notice there's been not so more and more people are wising up to this fucking convid. So now it's the fucking Taliban, and next it'll be the fucking global warming, and then it'll be fucking something else. There's always a constant bombardment of these nasty little nefarious entities trying to change your frequency. And you can't let it, but at the same time, you can't suppress it either, because it builds up. So if you have a shit day, acknowledge you're having a shit day. And like I said in the last video, you know, one way you can do something about it is what I'm doing right now, and that is I'm coming out here into the forest. I'm going to sit down in a minute right by a stream where there's just nothing but beauty around me, and I'm going to acknowledge that this less than ideal energy is presenting itself to me as an experience, and I'm going to thank it for its presence, thank it for its experience, and let it go into the earth. I'm going to let Mother Nature take it away from me, because it doesn't serve me. And I'm going to lift myself to a higher elevation, as they say. And the majority of the time, that's where I remain. But we're human. We're going to get angry. We're going to spit the dummy. We're going to feel down. We're going to feel sad. We're going to feel foreboding. Many poor souls are feeling foreboding. You know, I just heard something earlier from a friend of mine, and his mate has just lost his wife. Not to fucking COVID, but just because she was to depression. She was so depressed. She tried to take her life a couple of times. Went to hospital to let her go. And now, just the day before yesterday, she done it successfully. He's left with a new baby and a 2-year-old. He's got to tell his mum, tell his baby that, tell his little girl, me and mummy's gone to heaven. Mummy's with the fairies now. I mean, there's always someone worse off than us. And many people have lost people. Many people have, you know, sadly, tragically, you know, just given up and taken their lives, and that's fucking tragic. It really is. They don't understand necessarily what's going on. But I kind of get it. I kind of get the fact that we're being fucking tested here. We're being probed all the time. This is a big test of your resolve. And like I say, plausibly it's going to get worse before it gets better, and we're going to get good days and we're going to get bad days. But you've got to stand tall. You've got to find it in you. You've got to get your head, heart and your balls in a line and push through. Because every day we're here is a triumph, you know. Like I said, you know, you wake up in the morning. A lot of people during the night while you were sleeping didn't make it. But you're here, and that deserves a smile. Sometimes it's going to be hard, but count your blessings, what you've got. You know, recognise when you feel shit. Don't suppress it. You know, recognise it. Thank it for its presence and its experience, for whatever lesson it's trying to teach you, and then let it go. And a good place to let it go is out in nature. Just let it take it away. Don't hold it around. Don't push it under the covers, because it resurfaces bigger and bigger. You know, and don't do what I did today. You know, because you forget. Oh yeah, you beat yourself up for feeling shit. You think to yourself, well, fucking hell, why am I feeling shit? I've got it good. You know. And it was later in the day that I heard about my mate's friend, his wife taking her life. It wasn't earlier in the day, because if I'd have heard that, that would put me straight in perspective. Made me thankful for what I got. It wasn't till later in the day, so after I'd already come to the conclusion that I was fucking, you know what, being a bit of a ponce, feeling sorry for myself, as we all probably do when we forget. People have got it a lot worse than us. Of course they have. You know, but shit is shit still, and you still feel shit. But acknowledge it, it's going to happen, we're human. It's okay to shout, it's okay to fucking kick off, it's okay to swear, it's okay to call someone a cunt if they're a cunt. It's probably not the most productive thing you can do if you're trying to be a spiritual warrior, but like I said, I'm on my fucking journey. I didn't say I was at the summit. But don't suppress everything. You know, I know tomorrow will be a better day, and I know things will prosper. If you've got a roof over your head, you've got food in your belly, you know, you've got money in your pockets right now, you're doing all right. We're all not doing as great as we could have been, but we're doing all right. You know, I'm doing all right. I'm grateful, I've got gratitude. I wake up with self-love and gratitude every day, and that sets your day. So, you know, just keep art, people. You know, this is, you're just you're just consciousness in this human vehicle having an experience. That's what you are. And if you look back through your life, you've had many ups, many downs, many goods, many not so goods. And you know, fucking sun will shine again. So stay prosperous, stay optimistic. We'll be alright. You know, what don't kill you makes you stronger. And we're getting fucking stronger and stronger every day, whether you realise it or not. This will build resolve. This has revealed people's character traits left, right and centre. You see who falls and you see who stands, and you see what's important and what isn't. Stuff isn't important. People are important. People that stand with you, good people, that's what's important. And that's what we're all going to realise when we get through this. We're all going to realise what matters and what doesn't matter. Don't sweat the fluff. And yeah, be in the fucking now, because all we've got left until the end of this, till the end of whatever our time is within this realm is continuous moments of now. That's all we got. So cherish each and every one of them. Peace.